Good morning. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my new setup. Are you liking it? Hi, I'm Dr. JoNeil Conley, and I appreciate you coming to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to be offering a whole bunch of how-to videos about meanness, the Meanness Matrix, and bullying. I studied bullying in my doctoral work, and I want to share some of my findings with you. But right this minute, it is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving 2019. And I would imagine there's a couple of you who are going, oh no, I have to be with them on Thanksgiving. Now, that is not my issue, but I have been in circumstances where I have struggled with some of the individuals that I was spending the day with. Now, remember, it's one day unless you're there for the entire weekend. But I want to use some of the principles from the Arbinger Institute. We're going to go through them. I'm going to share my PowerPoint in just a second. That's going to help you understand it is not about the other person. Now, they might very well be a turd, but it is not about them. And you cannot control their behavior. The only person you can control is you. And how you respond and how you, if you have to, breathe your way through it. Please don't drink your way through it, because oftentimes that causes more problems than not. But let me go ahead and just share my PowerPoint screen, because there's a couple things I want to share with you. So let's see here. Again, just to reintroduce myself, I'm Dr. JoNeil Conley. And I think this is a really important quote to remember. In the moment, we choose to see others either as people like ourselves or objects. Either they count like we do or they don't. Now, I know somebody out there is going, JoNeil, if you only knew my cousin, I gotta think of a name of a cousin that I don't have. If you only knew my ex-husband, if you only knew my kids, if you only, absolutely. There are people that are struggling, that have issues, but you cannot control them. Now, again, if there are dangerous circumstances, if there are issues, then that's a different kind of a conversation. Right now, we're talking about the run-of-the-mill pain in the patoot. And using the principles from the Arbinger Institute, Arbinger believes that we should see people as people. Because if we see them as an object, we can hurt them. If we see them as somebody who doesn't matter, we can hurt them. And I don't want that for you. I want you to get through this holiday, not only Thanksgiving, but the coming up holidays with a sense of joy and peace. I do know that there are some families that are struggling with losses and struggling with really painful circumstances. And let us in this moment wrap our arms around those families. But back to you. Back to you. Not only on Thanksgiving, but every day we have a choice in how we see individuals. We'll go into the politics and on another episode, but Thanksgiving dinner, you're there. You want to spend time with people that you care about. You might have been dragged there against your will. You might have been on a diet. You thought, I can't go there. They're having green fluff. Breathe your way through it. I want to go through some of the concepts of a tool that I've created called the Meanness Matrix. And as we look at this, as it relates to Thanksgiving dinner, look down here. There are people that are simply rude. There are people who are truly bullies. And there are some people that are narcissists. Now, some individuals at that table, and let's just focus on the rude part. We'll leave the bullies and we'll leave the narcissists to another time. Thanksgiving dinner, Uncle so-and-so is rude, says dumb stuff, gets into a political debate about whatever. Now, going to this rude column, if they don't really matter, they're entitled to their opinion. You're entitled to yours. See them as people. And the first one, if they don't really matter, smile and nod. Yep. You are building up a protective barrier, because once they get under your skin, you're lost. You're absolutely lost. So take a minute, smile and nod. It's just Uncle so-and-so. They were in the war, they were whatever. They see the world differently. Thanksgiving dinner is not your place to advance your political or personal views. It is a time to sit at the table and to break bread together. It is a time to be joyful for the things that you have. Now, some of the things might not be at that table. They might be back at home, but be in the moment, see people as people. If the person doesn't really matter, smile and nod. Let them be. Let it be. If they matter a bit, again, seeing people as people is one of the key principles I want you to consider through this whole conversation. But if they matter a bit, look at them as a person with hopes, dreams, challenges, aspirations, issues going on in their life. Again, open your heart. You have a chance to have your heart at peace. And if they matter a lot, listen and learn. Learn what's going on. Sometimes we don't have a clue what's happening in other people's lives. Just be still. Don't push, don't drill, don't whatever. Listen. God gave us 2 ears, 1 mouth. I'm reminded of that on a regular basis. And learn. Learn what's going on with that person. Look at them with fresh eyes. If you haven't gone to see It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood with Mr. Rogers, I wish I had more Mr. Rogers in me where I could just be with people. I personally have a tendency to fix things. I want to make it better. I want to make it right. I want to be the fixer. A lot of times people don't want to have things fixed. They simply want you to be in their presence. So those are the folks at Thanksgiving dinner. And again, I can't even address the alcohol piece because oftentimes people say things, people do things, people's feelings get hurt. Is it worth it? Is it worth destroying whatever is going on in your family? Now, we're talking about the rude people, the people, all of that. The bullies and the narcissists are an entire different category of individuals. People that are truly, back up, people that are rude, they're not intending to hurt you. They're just focused on themselves and they want to make themselves feel better. People that are bullies want to deliberately hurt you. It is intentional. And it requires a stronger force field. It requires a stronger set of bricks, if you would. Again, you could still see them as people and you can still not react because that's the goal is, and you can have a secret code with your spouse when it gets more than you can handle. It's like, I'm going to go turn the gravy. I'm going to go do something. I'm going to go get a fresh air. I'm going to go to the bathroom, breathe my way through it and come back. But if someone, again, let's just look at the bully piece because again, the narcissists are a whole nother subject. But if somebody says something that is offensive, thanks for sharing. Because remember, you are not going to change that person. You have to control yourself. Thanks for sharing. Do you mind repeating? Again, going up that ladder if they matter a bit. Get that force field up. Don't let them in. Don't let them, you're entitled to your feelings. And if somebody is really terrible, you can get up and leave. You can go home. You can say you got a headache. You can say Aunt Frida's calling. You could say any number of things, but protect yourself. Don't stir up the pot. It's not worth it. Christmas is coming. You probably have to see them again. Now, we're not going to go through any more than just this part for today, but I want to give you some tools and some strategies to make that day pleasant. Remember, it's not about the other person. It's about you. And they're entitled to their thoughts. They're entitled to the same way you are. Your job is not to convince somebody to believe what you believe, to think what you think. Please, let's not have any political conversations at Thanksgiving because the next year is going to be something else. And we're going to have some other conversations about that. But I also want you to look at this piece of it. Seeing an equal person as inferior is an act of violence. And none of us need to spend the day like that. So let's hope some of those strategies helped you with your Thanksgiving dinner. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure you do that. There's going to be a whole bunch more how-to channels. I wish you blessings, happiness, joy, and not too much turkey.